Welcome to this Saturday Travel and History Tip. This will be part 2 in our tragedy series on places in southwest Pennsylvania. We will be going and learning about the Johnstown Flood. Outside of Johnstown, the 165-acre Johnstown Flood National Monument documents the Great Johnstown Flood of 1889. It is one of the worst disasters in U.S. history, and I dare say many people don't know anything about it. We have natural disasters, fires, and floods, and we just don't realize that things like this have been going on for centuries. Johnstown was a steel company town built in the floodplain at the fork of the Little Conemaugh and Stony Creek rivers. The German and Welsh community was well known for its quality steel, as is most of southwest Pennsylvania. At the time of the flood, 30,000 people lived there. Because of torrential rains at 3:15 a.m. on May 31st, 1889, the old South Fork Dam, which was 14 miles away, gave way, emptying the 20 million ton Lake Conemaugh into the valley leading to Johnstown. A wall of water 35 to 40 feet high swept into the town, carrying everything in its wake across the sleeping town in a matter of only 10 minutes. The 72-foot-tall dam, one of the largest earthen dams in the world in 1889, had originally been built for the Pennsylvania Main Line Canal System. Years later, the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club resort members built a getaway at the lake and dam for the elite of Pittsburgh, like Andrew Carnegie and Andrew Mellon. Reportedly, that dreadful night, the club engineer sent 3 warnings to the people of Johnstown, alerting the citizenry of the impending failure of the dam. Some believed the dam failed from neglect, but the club was never found liable. 5 days after the tragedy, a group of relief workers from the American Red Cross out of Philadelphia provided food and medical care. Red Cross founder Clara Barton, along with a team from her office near Washington, D.C., were also dispatched to the devastated town. So this is a great nugget for those of you who are Clara Barton fans. Barton was 67 years old at the time. This was the first major civilian disaster relief effort for the organization. At the Monument Visitor Center, 2 floors of compelling exhibits graphically detail the terrifying event, which became the largest news story at the end of the 19th century. The historic 1889 clubhouse is not open at this time. When visiting this park, you will also want to go into the city of Johnstown to see the Johnstown Inclined Plane. It is the world's steepest vehicular inclined plane. It is a historic mechanical engineering landmark and on the National Register of Historic Places. The inclined plane was built in 1891 because of the flood that devastated the town in 1889 and was one of the first things planned to help as an escape route during future floods. It has done just that during the floods of 1936 and 1977. We rode in one of the 2 38-ton cars pulled by a 2-inch cable wound on a 16-inch diameter drum and driven by a 400-pound horsepower electric motor. The 90-second trip travels the 71.9% grade on an 896.5-foot funicular. There is an enclosed passenger area with a seating bench on one side and room for 1 vehicle on the opposite side of the train car. Once at the top, take in the breathtaking panoramic views across the Little Conemaugh and Stony Creek rivers. There are informative plaques at the overlook. When we went there this summer, it was all under construction and it was closed, and we had really looked forward to doing this again, but I guess we'll have to wait till 2024. There are 2 hiking trails for those who would rather walk than pay to ride to the top, but once at the top, you will want to go down the street. After riding the inclined plane or driving to the top, you can go to the Grandview Cemetery, where over 57,000 people are buried. On the top of the hill, an imposing monument and hundreds of headstones honor 777 unknown flood victims. This monument was dedicated 3 years after the 1889 flood, with 10,000 people in attendance. So you can see 3 amazing sights having to do with this historical flood from 1889. It's all a part of American history. Learn it, love it, appreciate it. Don't let them steal our history. Teach children our American history. And next Saturday, we'll show you the actual rescue shaft for the evacuation for the 9 miners of the Q Creek disaster. Hope you watch the Saturday Travel and History Tips. Thank you.